So I'm going to be doing a wee makeup tutorial today on my mum. This is for a mature skin, so I showed my mum to do it. So first I'm going to start with cleansing the skin with micellar water from Primark. Get it on a cotton pad, but you don't want to make it too wet as you want to make sure it's not soaking right into the skin or not dripping down your client's face. I'm just rubbing right into my mum's face right now. Making sure I get right into the nose and around the face. I'm going to go in with the Cream Moisturiser. I think it's really pretty. This is one of my favourite ones, so I'm going to get some of these brushes to use that. Spread it all over the face, making sure it's blended on. And then I've got my hands, as you'll see in a wee second. People like to use different brushes for this, but I choose that brush because I feel like it spreads it out well on the face. I'm going to start rubbing it in my hands, as I said before. I feel like this blends it out well. So I'll just keep doing that until I feel like it's all blended in. I like to put it on the neck as well. So now I'm going to go in with the Revolution Skin Glow. I love applying this to my client's skin as it helps with the foundation as an underbase. So I'll just spread this all over my client's skin. As you can see, rubbing in the forehead and on the nose. Just keep going until I feel like it's enough on the client's skin. As you can see, it's quite glowy. To get in next with some Skin Food, one of my favourite products. I love using a lot on myself, but I like to just put a little bit on the client's skin because a lot don't like it as it's like quite a sticky texture. So I'm just going to rub this into my client's skin with my hands. I love applying all the skin care products with my hands because I feel like it blends so well. So that's what I'm doing now, making sure it's all blended down the neck as well. So next I'm just wipe my hands because after you apply all the skincare your hands do get quite sticky. So you just keep doing that until it's all good. And next I'm going to go in with my foundation. I'm not really sure on how to pronounce the make of this, sorry guys. And I'm sure it's from like a wee shop in town and it was only like £2 and it works the trick on the client's skin. That's me just get my foundation brush and I'm going to start applying it all over the face. Just making sure it's packed all over. This is quite a lightwear foundation, so it's perfect for a mature client's skin. So I'm just applying it all over, making sure that I'm not missing any areas, getting the client to look up as well when I'm going under her eyes so it doesn't irritate her. Sometimes you'll need to colour match your client, but I've used this foundation on my mum before, so I know that it matched her skin well. You don't want to go too dark on a client's skin either, as it can look quite cakey and like not a nice effect in photo. So I'm going to with my beauty blender now, just making sure it's all blended out. I either spray my beauty blender with setting spray or make it damp before I apply to the face. You don't want it too wet as it can move the foundation. Just get my client to look up again. Sometimes blending does take a little longer than you expect, but you do want to make sure everything's blended out and it's not stuck to the face, the foundation looking quite harsh, but and just keep blending until. But now I'm going to go back in with the foundation brush to go down the neck, and I like to apply to the ears as well. So I'm just blending right down, making sure the face and the neck match with each other. Just going back over the nose as I feel like that needs a little bit more on it because it's more mature skin. Blending again, just making sure it's all blended out. You will literally be here for years watching me blending this out. It gets quite boring, but it's got to be done. So after I do that, I'm going to put some foundation on the eyes as I feel like they weren't really matching the face. If you are doing eye makeup, then you don't really need to do this, but for my client, I was doing like a natural eye, just with a bit of eyeshadow. So when this is done, I'm going to go in with the Be Perfect concealer. This is one of my favourites. I'm just going to go under the client's eye, starting at the end of the eyebrow, taking it to the inner corner, making sure I've filled it all up because this is perfect for your base. And I'm going to go on the other eye and do the exact same, just making sure I'm packing it on full and pulling it up to the end of the eyebrow. And I'm going to pop a wee bit in the chin and a little bit in the forehead. You don't want to put too much on the chin because I feel like it sticks to the chin quite well. I'm going to go back in with the same beauty blender, making sure it's all blended out. Then sometimes I like to squash my brush a little so it makes it smaller. And I'm just dabbing down on the eye, making sure it's all blended in. You don't want it to look too harsh, looking like a big white line. So you'll just keep going. I will then go on to the other side and do the exact same. As you can see, sometimes this is time consuming, I meant there, so you do need to be patient with it. But I'll just keep blending out until I'm happy with it. And then I'll go into the forehead, and then I'll do the chin after that. But if you do feel that the chin looks quite harsh, then you can go back in with foundation and just blend it out again. I will then go in with the Lockdown Pressed Powder from BPerfect, one of my favourites. I'm using a wee powder puff for this, so I'm just going to press right down to the face, making sure it's all over where I applied the concealer. Just do it on the same the other eye and add a wee bit to the forehead and the chin again. I'll just keep going over that, and then after that I'm going to get a fluffy brush so I can just blend it out so it doesn't look too harsh looking, because sometimes this powder does stick. So you want to make sure it is actually blended. You could see the difference there from blended to not blended. Doing the same on the other side. And then I will go in with my Hoola bronzer, my favourite one ever. And I'll get like a wee contour brush for this and make it quite fluffy so it does blend out. Sometimes this will go on quite dark, but you can always go back and blend it. Then go in with an even fluffier brush just to blend it out so it's not looking too harsh looking. I do like my contour quite dark. I like to take it up to the forehead as well, because I just feel like that's my go-to look. I'm going on to the other side and doing the exact same. Just making sure it's blended out. My client has quite good cheekbones, so it makes my life much easier when I'm doing her contour. I'm just going to keep getting in, making sure it's blended, not looking harsh. And then I will go onto the nose after this. I'm applying a wee bit to the forehead there. As you can see, I'm doing like down the sides of the nose. You don't want to make it look too harsh either, so just blending it all out. Then I'm going to get in with a fluffy brush, a bit even bigger one, just to make sure everything's sitting the way I want it. And then when I'm happy with that, I will then get a wee blush. For blush, I'm going to use this Shapeshifter palette. So I'm just going to get a wee brush for that, a wee fluffy one. Don't want to pack this on, so I've tapped some on my hand before it. And then I'll just go along the top of the cheekbone with it, just so it gives it that like shimmer and the redness that I'm looking for. So I'll just do it on both sides, just a little bit, and then I like to apply some of the nose as well, just not too much, because I like the highlighter for that. This is a Sleek highlighter palette. This is one of my favourites, and it's so cheap as well. So I'll just do that, and I like a lot on the nose. I love to have my client glowing. It's not everyone's type of thing, but I love to be glowing, even on myself when I'm doing makeup. So I'm just making sure I'm happy with the highlighter. I will go in with mascara. This is a BPerfect mascara, which I actually love. It sits on your lashes so well, and I feel like it stays on all day as well. So I'm just brushing up my client's lashes. I'm getting her to look down. This is the best way for me to do it, because I do actually struggle with mascara, and she has a decent size length of lashes, so this makes it easier as well. You don't always have to add a lash to your clients, because mature clients don't really like lashes, so if they do like them, then you can add a little small pair on, but my client preferred just to have mascara. I'm just going to make a smaller Hoola bronzer, a lighter shade for the eyes. Just using a wee fluffy brush and just blending along the eye just to give it that definition. I will then go on to the other eye and do the exact same. I'm not applying a lot of product to the eye, just to give it a wee colour, as I feel like this looks nice on a mature skin. I am going in with a, I think it's Revolution brow like stick thing, pencil. So I'm going to do that on my client's skin. I meant eyebrows. Eventually get this open. It's just taking a wee while here. I'm wasting time, but we'll get there. I eventually got it open, as you can see, and I'll get the wee spoolie at the end and brush my client's brows up. She does have tattooed brows, so it makes my life much easier that she has a shape and colour there. So I'll just make them just a wee bit bolder and just fill them in. Just doing wee strokes and then brushing so it doesn't look too much on the brows. I'll just do the same on the other side as well. I don't like to put too much product on them either. I'll keep going until I'm happy with the outcome of them. I'm actually so fussy with eyebrows, like I will keep going until I know that I like them. I'm the exact same with my own eyebrows, so I think that was me happy with them. So I'm going to look for a lip liner. I think it's the Rimmel one I use. Yeah, no, Barry M, sorry. This is quite a light one for the client's lips. She hasn't got like big lips, so I don't want to outline them too much. So I'm just going to go in, just outlining what's there so they're not looking too out there. Continue to do the top and the bottom, no overlining too much or anything. Next I'm going to use my Peaches and Cream lip gloss with a lip brush, just applying all over the lips whenever I find a lip brush, I've got it. Just want to put a little bit on, not too much and not too like dark a shade either. So I'll do this until all the lips are filled and I'm happy, and then I'll get my client to rub her lips afterwards. I will then go in with a Primark setting spray, get my client to close her eyes, and I'll just spray over her face. Then after that, that is the finished look, guys.